Hi everybody, hi girls, guys, everyone. 50 days sober, man. Do you know what? It feels like such a big achievement, and there's much more people with a lot more higher sobriety than me. And to be honest, we should all be grateful for even a day. That's why we take it day by day. 24 hours at a time, and if we need to, we break down to hour by hour, or even one foot in front of the other, taking it like, if we worry about tomorrow or the day after, we're going to sit there and we're going to worry. We're going to end up using, and we don't want to use. Like, none of us want to use. It's an addiction. Well, let's reframe that. Some people do want to use, but the point is some people, like myself, I am an addict. I am an alcoholic. I am an addict, and all round. I can't do one thing from the other. So, like, I've smoked cigarettes since I was 13, and I gave up. Well, I say I gave up. I stopped smoking cigarettes for 5 years. So it was 5 years. It was, and I had nothing, but I replaced it with a vape the whole time for 5 years. And then we went to Thailand, and the vapes are illegal there, so I went back to smoking, and I still I've kicked it back. And it's like caffeine, right? I love to have a Red Bull every morning, right? And when I didn't for a while, for like 3-4 months, what I did was I was drinking like 10 to 15 cups of coffee or tea, just trying to get that extra fix. Like, as addicts, it's everything. You go even for work, like, and you become you obsessive, and you continue, you work, and do more and more. Like, some people just stop. Like, I'm jealous of the people that can just have a drink, or even a bag or whatever, and just go, and that's it. But I can't. Well, just one's like a bender for like, I don't know. I can't even tell you how many benders that I've been on. Like, I'm 32, and yeah, it's I was an alcoholic at 21, 22, and I sort of thought I nipped it in the butt, but I've been white knuckling it. I was white knuckling it. What I was doing, I weren't. But then obviously drugs came later on in life. Cocaine, just sniffing, dry sniffer. Do you want to know, like, become just a dry sniffer all through, and yeah. Anyway, that's what ended up leaving. I tried giving up before, but I ended up in rehab. I did a 30-day inpatient at Gregory Coe, and the one thing, like, I can really, someone said to me, so my first day when I was there was this, I remember going to a meeting, and there was this girl, and I asked her, a woman, so let's say she was a woman, and I said to her in the group, I said, what would your advice? And she was just coming to the end of her time in rehab. I said, well, what's the best bit of advice? What advice would you give to someone that's never been to rehab before, that's a total addict, like, and he's tried to stop himself, but it doesn't work? And she said, just give everything a go. Just try everything. And that's what I did. And, like, I know that people can go through the steps, and they say they go through them, and they go through, oh, I've been through the steps in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like, you can't. To properly go through the steps, like I'm going through mine with my sponsor, and that, like, I reckon. Oh, so I'm 50 days in, and I'm on step 1 still. Like, because it's okay me sitting there and saying, we admit we're powerless and our lives are unmanageable. I can sit there and I can say that, but I've done it before, sat there and gone, yeah, my life is unmanageable. My life was ridiculous. It was this, it was that. But if you give yourself a task every day, right, to write down, even if it's not your sponsor, or even if you're not even in a program, and write a different occasion, different times, a different one every day, a different event of where you were powerless and your addiction was unmanageable, and the people that actually was affected by that on that occasion. But don't just do like 2, 3 in a day. Do one a day and do it for a week, and then go back and read it, and then maybe do another week. And but obviously you've got to be different occasions on there. And us addicts, we got many occasions. But what it does is it makes you think about the occasion. So instead of me just sitting there and writing stuff out, I have occasions which I can do. But I'm not actually processing it. I'm just, what's the word? Like just sort of just ruffling it out off of my tongue, and you need to fully submit to this program, to the fellowships, whichever fellowship you're with. You can't in your head, if you're just rattling it and you're not thinking about it, when you're actually thinking about the people you hurt, the people why it was unmanageable, why it was powerless, and doing it day by day, you'll think you get a better understanding of yourself, of actually how unmanageable and how powerless you were, which means that you, by fully understanding it and surrendering yourself to put God, a God of your whatever you choose, into your driving seat, like whatever you choose your higher power to be, it doesn't have to be a religious one. It could be a group of drunks. It could be, there's loads of like group of druggies, group of drunks, it's what your own perception is, but you have to surrender to it. And I when I first done it a couple of years ago, I just went, yeah, I'm powerless against it. And then I'd still go out for a day, that day, maybe a day later, and I'd be like, yeah, but I'm doing the program. I'm on the program, but I hadn't fully submitted myself. And you need to submit yourself, fully yourself, and understand why you're doing this. And by doing that over a period of time, instead of just a day or 2 or a week, you can't, you don't get to respect the amount of occasions where you were powerless and life was unmanageable. And then from there, like, it's not an easy road, and it's an illness that we as addicts have to manage every day of our lives. We can't let go. So the day that we don't do a meeting, or we don't do something, whether it's just writing a gratitude list, I write a gratitude list every day. And I'm currently doing a minimum of 2 meetings a day. And if I need more, I do more, but it's about the understanding is what keeps you sober is the fact that the people you see in the meetings, the sobriety that they have, and them sharing their experiences, and at the same time, when you're in a pickle and you've got that urge, you pick up the phone, you call your sponsor. If you haven't got a sponsor, I suggest you go to meetings and put yourself out there more, because without a sponsor, you're white knuckling it. You're white knuckling it. Even if you've got you might have contacts still in your phone, but you don't have a sponsor. Like, that's your sponsor is. They're there to go take you through your steps. They're there to, you know, that should be you holding one dial. You dial one, you know, hold one, then it goes automatically straight to them, or something along them lines. But what I've seen from my experience is that at the same time you can also have a sponsor, and if the sponsor doesn't fit you, because we have to be selfish. We're selfish as addicts anyway, but the reason that they're sponsoring is for their own needs. They're not sponsoring it to. They want you and to help you, but it's actually to help them along and them to continue on their journey, because obviously we've step 12, and it's what keeps people sober. Like, I was on a meeting today and there was someone saying, 15,000 and something days. Oh my word! Like that, to me, that's like, whoa. That's well in the world distance. But we have to be selfish, and it has to. They have to suit us, and there's like I said, it's like having a car, but it doesn't have a gas pedal, so you can't drive it. But you've got a car, so it's useless. Like, that's probably the worst analogy I could have used. And I have got a lot of gratitude for my sponsor and for the fellowship, because the only reason that I'm today here at 50 days sober is because of them. Not only them, like my sponsor says, I made the decision to call them. So as part of me, but they're being as a support network, has kept me sober. But listen, I'm going to let you all relax, chill, go and enjoy some music or TV and whatever else, and you'll hear from me in the next couple of days on there. Like, and if you've got anything in particular, if there's anyone that wants to like find out more about the fellowships or whatever else, I'm happy to point them in the right direction. Or if they've got any questions, ask them and I'll answer it. I'll make a video and answer it for them, if I can, to the best of from my experience.